there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another Splinterlands video, and today I'm very excited to be talking about the top 10 most expensive monsters in Splinterland. We're going to look at them, we're going to look at their special abilities, and see if they're quote-unquote worth it. By worth it, I'm more focusing on if they're actually worth using them. If you actually have the card, would you play with it? Because it's a great card, or is it just expensive because, you know, it's an older card, and they're legendary? Let's find out. And I do want to mention these are just monsters. We're not going to go into summoners because those things are just stupid. We'll do that in a separate list. But starting off with the number 10 most expensive card in Splinterlands, monsters-wise, we have Epona from Earth, legendary, 1 cost, and having the Strengthen ability, which all friendly monsters have increased health. This is a no-brainer. This is most definitely worth your bang for your buck, and you would absolutely find ways to sneak this into your deck. I would love to have this card. And the big thing about this that I want to spotlight is the fact it has 3 health for 1 cost. If this were just a 1 cost with 3 health and 3 speed, you know, that's in itself a decent card. You know, just a little tiny baby mini tank. But the fact that it strengthens everything is just massive. And just fantastic card. Epona, I would love to have a copy of this card, but $175. And in case you're wondering if you can level it up to level 2, it gets the Divine Shield, which means guaranteed this thing's going to take 2 hits. Realistically, it's probably going to take 3, if not 4 hits, depending on where you hide it. And then you get the immunity and then the repair. But honestly, at that point, you're looking at $1,000+ card potentially. But Epona, the number 10 card, and definitely a doozy. A great one to start off with, one I'd love to have in my deck. Now, one thing I do want to forewarn you about, there's lots of dragons on this list. And that was a little bit disappointing to me, and I might do a future list if people like this list, spotlighting the top 10 cards that are not dragon. I think that's a little bit too niche now that I say it in my head. But moving on to number 9 at $180, at least at the time of making this in April 2022. The next 9th most expensive card, we have the Chromatic Dragon, which has the flying ability, which means a little bit harder to hit, 9 health. So right there, and 3 damage, 3 speed. So this is a great tank. Like, this is just a rock-solid tank, chucking in 7 mana for 9 health. That's rock solid. And 3, it's going to hit. It's going to get its shot off a lot of times. It's going to be hard to hit because of that flying ability. This is a rock-solid card. Would I use it? That's the real question. I can see some specific situations. You know, maybe you got to deal with poison or there's no armor. You know, there's conditions where there's no armor. So just having 9 health at 7 cost, that's really rock solid. Being able to fly, it's just hard to hit. And being able to fly is always a useful ability. I will say in Dragon, no, I will say, yeah, it's a useful ability. I don't like it as much as the number 10 card. I'd much rather have that number 10 card than this number 9 card. But still, heck of a card. Let's see what it does. And then it gets it, wow, it's enraged at level 2. That's a beast, and it starts piercing. Wow, so this is, yeah, if you have, you know, $1,000 or more to level this up, this is a fantastic card to get all the way up to level 4 if you happen to be playing in that tier, and I see why it's so spectacular. But just in its base level 1, it's still solid. Solid. I don't think this one, I would say, is probably, yeah. Anywho, continuing on with another dragon, moving up to number 8, and moving up quite a bit to $249, just for a level 1. We have the Gold Dragon. That's the lowest cost right now. Obviously, the prices fluctuate, but I imagine it's going to maintain its spot as being a very expensive card, because there's not many of these out there to even get. So, 8 health, 7 costs, and then 2 magic. So this is a heck of a backline tank. Like, honestly, I like this card a lot more than the first card just because I slapped this thing in my backline. I know my backline is safe because it's flying, it has 8 health, but it's doing just 2 damage. So it's going to wear down everything. And if you get to your backline card, I mean, there's a good chance you're probably going to win with this. This is a fantastic card. Even if they have, you know, magic resistance, still getting in that 1 damage every time. Very solid card there. Number 7, the Gold Dragon. Moving on to number 6, we have the Spirit of the Forest. Very expensive once again at 7 cost, but 8 health and 2 damage and 6 attack. Wow. So this is a fantastic backline tank and the ability to snipe, no less. Whoa. So I think this card would be the deck that comes up into my mind immediately when I think of this card is that summoner that takes away 2 armor. Because if you take away 2 armor, you got a 6 snipe. Not to mention if you get, what's his name, Brownie, the 1 cost that raises the speed on this. This is just, yeah, I would love this card. I would use this card, and I think, honestly, I think this card would really open up. Because, you know, typically when I go green, I just go magic. I just go the +1 magic, and I get my 6 healer, I get my 4 healer, I get my Grund, who does the double smash. You know, that's my go-to green right now, but I think this could definitely shift, at least my personal meta. Really awesome card. Unfortunately, it costs $210. Let's see what happens when it levels up. And it starts to heal the tank. Oh, be still, my beating heart. Wow. That is so good. And then provides armor. It's just redonkulous. I want this card. Yeah, I think this is my favorite card we've seen. Now, granted, I'm a little bit biased toward green, but yeah, I would adore that card right there. Woo! All right, some great cards. Moving on to number 6, the number 6 most expensive monster in Splinterlands, the Angel of Light. Level 1, going to cost you $228. 5 cost, 1 speed, slow as dirt, but 8. So you slide this into your backline. Okay. Backline tank. Well, it's just a backline tank. It's not doing any damage. But being able to resurrect the person in the front is good. I like it. I love the resurrect ability. The thing is, with the resurrect ability, you got to be careful. I mean, you're always going to get value on it as long as this person doesn't die first. But, you know, so a lot of times you'll have the chicken in the backline or a 0 cost or something like that, or a 1 cost. Just something to protect your squishy inner middle. At least that's how I play a lot. And so I just... Yeah, this is a good card. Don't get me wrong. Would I use it? Yes. 5 cost. Because here's the other thing. It's only 5 cost. It's a 5 cost backline tank who's going to bring back your frontline tank. And if they have that armor where the magic hits the shield first, that's spectacular because they come back with 1 life, but they also come back with their armor. So, yeah, good card. Very, very, I mean, good, great. It's a great card. But just, I'm comparing it to the other in the top 10. And I say this is solid. I would take it over, I think, that dragon tank. Let's see what happens when we get to level 2. It flies, yippee skippy, but that's what I'm really looking for, that tank heal. Now that's where things go. And then, oh my gosh, Angel of Light, where you get the Inspire, so everybody has +1 damage. Fantastic card at that level, but honestly, all legendaries at their level 4 should be spectacular. What the heck's the point? Moving on, I know another dragon, but now you're like, what? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at that right there. That's beautiful. That's the red dragon. Going to cost you $249.89. 8 cost, which is a big cost. 9 health. It flies, but the big thing is 4 face damage and then 1 magic damage as well. Which means it's just a great card. I mean, that's something we do not see very often. So that at all, I think. Really, I can't think of another time I'm getting damage and magic, at least anywhere in, you know, cards that are below $50. So, great one. And then it gets the what is it? What's it get? Oh, it gets the reflect, the return fire. Okay, it's a very good card. I mean, this one's a hard one to rank. Just I wish I would have kept them all up so I could rank them. Yeah, I would rather have this than that one. I think so far my bottom card is that tank. Just that pretty generic tank, the dragon tank. I mean, it's still a great card, but it's this one. Just I'm thinking of where I would use this. I'm like, do I use it in the front? Do I use it in the back? I mean, hell, I could use it in the middle. And plus it heals itself. Oh my gosh, it'd be fantastic. There's so many circumstances. There's so many conditions where this is going to be a fantastic card. It flies. It heals itself if you happen to be dealing with poison. It has return fire if they go white. It does. I mean, it's a great card. But once again, we're in the top 5. Let's go. Moving on to number 4. Elemento Phoenix. We got a red sighting, a fire sighting. This card is going to cost you $397.50 for level 1. You want to get level 4? You better drop $1,400. Now, why is this one? Oh, so that was just $500 more. But wowzers. It flies. Great. 2 dragon. Or 2 magic. 5 speed. 8 health. 7. This, and plus... The big thing is it's red. It's red. Like, this is a red card. Like, that's, anytime you can add magic to your fire deck, I think it's just a spectacular thing to do. And this is a great card. I'd see myself using... Well, here's my thing. I actually like the 6-cost red summoner who has the last stand ability, the magic guy. If you don't have that card, it's a really fun card to utilize. So essentially, if he's the last person left, he hulks up, and he's won me so many games. So I'm wondering if maybe I would have this right in front of that, but then that's 13 in your 2 backline spots. But if you're hitting around 40 or 50 or heck, even 30, I could make 30 work. Put the 4-cost ants in the front, something, See, I like this card a lot. It's making my brain percolate with what I would do with it, which I think is the telltale sign of a great card, at least to me, is when I'm just like, ooh, what would I do with this? What are some intriguing things? Sometimes I see a card and I'm like, Not with any of these cards. And then we got, the Sparkler, the 3 health. So that's the big ones, because once you get to 3 magic, that's just wow. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage with this. And then you get the Sparkler damage, you get the Magic Reflect, and the Dodge. Wow. Great card. Great card. Honestly, I don't think I like it as much as some of the other dragons in that 1-cost green, but still fantastic card nonetheless, especially going into red. So next, $420. Gonna get you the Lightning Dragon, and we not too much here, but we see just range damage, not magic. Interesting. It's 6, so it's a backline tank. It's a really quick hitter backline tank. Wow. 3 damage on their face, super fast. And if you comboed this with a fast tank and maybe a fast second spot, woo! You could wipe out their tank before their tank even gets a hit off. Like, anytime you show me 6 speed, I'm immediately like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Lightning Dragon, yeah, I want this. I want this card right now. But it's $420. Oh, wow. Let's see what it does when it gets legendary. Great card. Just great. Backline, especially if you can give it a shield of some sort. But it's already going to avoid some things with the flying. And then it stuns. It has a chance to stun. Wow. So stun is ability that we don't see too terribly often, especially at the lower levels, but it allows, they can lose their next turn. And that's huge, because the thing is, this is going 6 speed. 6 speed, so it's going to hit the overwhelming majority of times. Whew. Great card. That's why it's the number 3 most expensive card. Then it's old. So yeah, I don't have one. Let's see how much I just want to show you, and there's only 500 in the circulation grand total. I can't look at the rent right now while they're doing the thing. Okay, whatevs. They got maintenance going on. So, moving on, number 2, the number 2 most expensive monster. Now, I do want to say, you say, well, there's 3 more here to go. Well, that's because, this one right here, and we'll talk about it a little later, you can't actually purchase at level 1. That's how rare it is. So, the Royal Dragon Archer, the number 2 most expensive monster, at $790. No way I'm paying $792. I'll go $790, not $792. So what does it do? 6 cost, 5 health. Okay, I'm not amazed yet. 1 damage, 3 speed, and it snipes. What am I missing here? I'm gonna guess this is one of those cards that's just, it's rare for some reason, because there's fewer of them, because just at first glance I'm like, yeah, would I use this card? Probably not. Maybe if I had to meet a flying condition or a snipe quest or something, but it's 3 speed, which isn't amazing. It's 1 damage, not amazing. 5 health, not amazing. 6 mana, not amazing. It flies and it snipes, don't get me wrong, those are 2 great abilities to have. But I think there's so many other 6 cards that I'd rather have, or 4 2s, or 3 3s. Not available. Oh, no longer available in the market. Somebody just bought it. Dang it. Well, it's good because I didn't want it anyway. Ha! Joke's on you. And then we get it to level 2, and then it gets 2 damage, which makes it, a little bit more alive, at least for me. And then Poison. Now, Poison at level 3. I think that's a big game changer there. Well, not really. Yeah, this is just not a card that I think this is probably, if I had to choose between all the cards we see, I think this would be my least. And that's the number 2 most expensive card on Splinterlands. Moving on to number 1. You can buy level 1 right now for $2,700. You get it for level 4 for $22,000. You got that sitting around. But yeah, do I want this? Yeah, no-brainer. Just an absolute no-brainer. 1 health. It does sneak. It's got 2. It's got magic damage. Yes. Because one of my favorite decks to play with are sneak decks. Just where you get like 3, maybe 4. sneakers in there, and that's just so fun. You just destroy their back line, and you just like try and like hold your front line. Very fun strategy to try out, by the way. And this would make that so much easier at one cost. Like, just, this is a heck of a card. And it's not physically attacking. It's doing magic damage, so you don't have to worry about it, running into thorns or anything like that. I think, honestly, of all the cards that we've seen, this might be the one I'd want the most, just because just a one cost. You know what? Here's the thing. No, I would still honestly take the number 10 cost. That one cost, 3 health, that gives everybody the extra life. I think I would pick that one, just because I'm going to get it to the table more often. When it comes to Dragon, I just don't play Dragon nearly as much as I play any of the other colors. And Death. I don't play as much Death. I need to get better at Death. Anywho, Shinlo, the number 1 card with an asterisk. But let's take a look at what the actual... well, I guess it's not the actual card. Let's just take a look at the Mightydricken. Now, the reason why this is here is because you can only purchase it at level 4. You could actually get it at level 1, but there's just none of those available. Nobody's selling it. Presumably because it's amazing. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go back there because of Splinter's Splinterlands. But at 1 cost, it's only 1 health, which stinks, but it flies. Yeah, actually, you know what? I take it back. I actually like the last card we just saw a lot better than this card. This card, don't get me wrong, it's still a 1 cost, but I look at it and I say to myself, Like, if you just change the color of this from purple to red, I don't think anybody bat an eye. They'd be like, yeah, it looks like a 1 cost red. It's got 1 health, 1 damage, 2 things. It flies. Cool, whatever. Yeah, very underwhelmed by the last few, unfortunately. And then it gets to trample. It gets trample at level 2. But, the chances of you getting it, that's not going to be something you bank on. Right, now maybe you bumped it up so it has more damage. But I don't really, And then we get Enrage. Now that could be where good things could happen. Because, then their health's going to go way up. But I don't know. And then 4. So there it is. So this is pretty much what you're playing for. And I'm not a big fan of that as a legendary. Like, I believe that a legendary card should be so good that you should use it at level 1 and just not even think about it. Like, even if you're rocking like level 2, level 3, level 4 of other cards, legendaries should go so good. They should have so much inherent value one way or the other. That yeah, even though it cost 1, it's just like, Whereas when it gets to level 4, this is when it becomes a beast. This is when it becomes an absolute monster with that scavenger ability. So that's a really interesting choice. I honestly feel like if they reworked this, it would be a better legendary if they would have given it the scavenger ability maybe second. Or even first. Yeah, the scavenger ability, I don't know. Anywho, Mightydricken, very underwhelming final card. But those are the top 10 monster cards in Splinterlands. And by the way, if you're newer to Splinterlands and you want to join a guild, consider joining my guild down below. Family friendly, that's the one big thing. I do it with my kids. But I'll give you tips and rent out cards to you and all sorts of stuff like that. But anyway, if you'd like to see a future Splinterlands video, in the future, because that's how the word works, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.